What I like to call it is, hey, this is your pay-to-play fee. This is your pay-to-play fee, guys. You guys can pay the fee to get in this house and play around in it like it's yours until you can make it yours. That's it. Right? I think that's just more hip. That's just straight up more hip. Justin Chambers here, Real Estate Wholesalers Club, and welcome back. This is session number 3 of virtual wholesale lease options. All right, let's jump right into wholesale lease options. Billy wants to know how to present the offer. Yeah, we're going to talk more about that today, Billy. So I'm glad you asked that question. You're kind of segueing right into what we want to do. We definitely want to talk more about getting into getting leads today. We also definitely want to talk more about how to go about beginning that conversation with them, okay? And we're going to try to demonstrate a little bit for you here too as well. So why don't we go ahead and just do a quick refresh on where we've been thus far. And remember, the real estate the transaction we're trying to learn right here is for pretty houses, okay? These pretty house deals, these are not ugly house deals. These are pretty house deals. So remember, this is the example property I showed. Okay, this looks like a nice house, like, you know, a nice family would live in, right? It's not something that would, you know, need a bunch of repair. So we're not looking for a fix and flip buyer. We're looking for a tenant buyer. Okay, somebody that can come in with a nice option fee. You know, kind of like a deposit or a down payment. It's non-refundable deposit, really, is what it is. And so what'll happen is, you know, they'll rent that place until they can qualify for the note or for the home loan to buy it. And you guys kind of understand how rent to own works. It's almost rent till own. You know, rent till you can qualify to own. And, you know, I'll just give you this is the gut honest truth, guys. Only about 60% of them ever work out. And that would be if you're having a good year. Okay, that means they don't buy. That's what I'm saying. It's like 40% of them won't buy, right? All right, here's an example we gave. It's just a fake property address. We changed it up, but it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. This is the bread and butter, remember? This is what we're going for. When we're talking to sellers, we're talking to them. Hopefully, we're talking to sellers or landlords that own this type of property. We're not looking for junker deals. We're looking for nice 3-bedroom, 2-baths. Well, what about 1-bedroom, 1-bath? Well, depending on the marketplace. If you're in a market where 1-baths, 1-bedroom, 1-baths really rent out really fast and hot, and everybody needs one, wants one, maybe like in a marketplace like perhaps New York. Okay, maybe, I don't know. But in most marketplaces, okay, this is 1-bedroom, 1-bath is not bread and butter. Okay, so 2-bedroom is, you know, doable, but it's harder to find tenant buyers if you don't have something that's got 3 bedrooms and at least 1.5 baths and some parking spaces, right? People want to raise their families. That's why they want to own homes, because they want to, you know, the financial benefits and the tax benefits, but they also want to raise their families in these things. So you got to think this, you know, they're going to live in this thing. It's great that you got a motivated seller with a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. No wonder he's motivated. Okay. And no wonder, you know, this 2-bedroom, 1-bath with 0 parking and it's on street parking. Okay. No wonder, you know, that guy's motivated. He's having a hard time. Also, you know, so when we're qualifying these, what we're doing is we're looking for bread and butter. We're looking to see if this is a house that would be easily rented out, okay, to a tenant buyer. Also, we're looking to see if the lease payment to the owner is, you know, would be, you know, somewhere near the fair market rent for that property. And in order to find that out, you know, we're going to have that first conversation with the seller. And the first conversation with the seller will tell us everything we want to know about that property, that we can go find what we want to know about that property based on that information. So here's Rental Meter. I showed this once before as well, I think. And so, you know, this is a tool that you can go find. It's not on the realestatewholesalersclub.com, although maybe it could or should be. But at any rate, Rentometer, you can just Google Rentometer and you can go there and you can get what the fair market rent of a place is, or a pretty decent idea of what the fair market rent is on a place like that. Okay, so the first conversation we're going to have with the homeowner is basically just a this is my technique, Billy. Is the first conversation I'm having with the seller or homeowner or landlord is really just a fact-finding mission, man. Okay, so you guys have all this pressure on you to close a deal right away when you get a seller on the phone, like you need to slam jam and get on up the road with a deal in less than 10 minutes. And really, honestly, you'll be better off served if you take a little slower approach and allow these people to get more comfortable with you. Okay, so you don't need to be busting down walls to get through, and trying to kick down all the objections in the first 5 minutes. It's really kind of like, hey, they have to like you, they have to understand what you have to offer, and it has to be a solution that they can believe in and do. That's pretty much all it amounts to. And you're going to find a lot of people aren't motivated. You want to just get off the phone with them, okay? If they're not motivated enough to help you fulfill your fact-finding mission, in other words, if you're on your first initial conversation with them and it's a fact-finding mission and they're still not very cooperative with you, okay, well, they're just telling you, hey, I'm not very motivated. Okay, so you don't want to mess with unmotivated people. All right, now, you do want to mess with the motivated ones, the ones that will cooperate with your fact-finding mission. Cool. What my team and I do is we fill out this form right here in our first conversation with them. Okay? And so we make sure we get all that. Now, that's what we do. Then we get off the phone. All right? And then we go do a little research on the property. We go check Rentometer, like we were talking about before. We go check Rentometer. We make sure that this is a property deal that we want to do. Is it ugly? Does it need help? Or is it livable? Is it a pretty house? Is the fair market rent equal to or greater than their payment? Or what the lease payment would be? Is it bread and butter, or is it close enough to be bread and butter? Okay, and once we've established all of those things, then what we do, Billy, is we call back the seller, okay, or the homeowner or the landlord, and we explain to them in a little bit further detail what our process is and how we can help them. We use the seller leave behind. That's also in the modules, the packets. It's got our logo on it. It's got Q&A in it for them. It's got every bit of information that you would like to communicate to them in written form. We get that in front of them, right? And then we also send them this at the same time. And let me pull it up here. Well, I was going to pull it up, but instead, we're going to look at this pretty house again. All right. Yep. Here it is. I send them this, the lease option agreement memo. All right. That's it. That's it, Billy. And usually, we'll have to have one more conversation with them, at least, after we send them this. Guys, you do not have to fight these people to get them to do this. If you are talking to the ones that you want to be talking to, you do not have to fight them. You don't have to do a song and dance. You don't have to do anything other than what I just explained. It's that simple. It's that simple. Yeah. 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 Right here, Kelly, you're talking about if I have a buyer, talking about not being able to get a tenant buyer in a reasonable amount of time, are there clauses to back out if needed? Yes. Yes. Look right here in this lease option agreement memo. The term of the lease option to begin as soon as buyer, that's you, acquires a lease option tenant for property the day that tenant buyer moves in. All right? You're not really committed to doing anything until you've already sold it. And you're telling the seller right up front, This lease option agreement memo will be assigned by buyer to a new lease option tenant. Yeah. See how easy that is, guys? See, it's not a struggle, okay? That's my point. You don't have to struggle with these people in order to do it. So we start with the lead property information sheet. We do a fact finding and conversation, and then we get off the phone. We do our little analysis. We make sure the fair market rent is at least equal to or greater than the payment that they have to make mortgage-wise, or that the new buyer will have to make mortgage-wise. Okay? We make sure that it's more close to bread and butter or bread and butter. All right? And because we want to make sure we have an easy transaction. We don't want to have a hard time finding a tenant buyer. But even if we did have a hard time, Kelly, it's okay. It's okay. We're not going to get stung here, okay, bud? No problems there. Don't worry about that now. Don't worry about that. All right. Let's talk about generating leads. Now, if you go to the automated REI, and we did talk about this last week a little bit. You go to the automated REI, you can go check it all out. It's got lots of great information in there about what it is and how it works and the features. And I'm just going to point out a couple of them here. Skip tracing is new. Okay, but look, look at this. Zillow and Craigslist scraping, guys. This is an incredible way to produce leads for this technique. All right, and this is what we recommend. This is what we teach in the one-on-one mentoring, coaching. All right, integrated text messaging. Okay, so you can scrape Craigslist and Zillow and text blast them right here. Okay, it's mobile friendly as well. All right, look at that, $0 a month. Now, everybody always wants to know what's my message for these wholesale lease options. Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know. Well, here's what it is, guys, and it changes a little bit here and there, but it's all the same gist. It's real simple. Okay. Now, I should charge everybody $1,000 just for this one thing because, no, I'm just kidding, guys. This is like the dumbest thing in the world to ever pay for. If you ever paid for it, don't pay for this. This is free. All right. So anyway, look, hi, I'm Justin. I'm an investor. I saw your property online, on the internet. Could you consider, right, a long lease with a strong tenant, then sell for your asking price, 24 to 36 months. You see how it populated it down there, what it's going to look like when they get it, just below where I'm typing? Yep. Yes, no, or maybe. That's what I do. I do the yes, no, or maybe. Why? Because people are like Pavlov's dogs, man. You tell them yes, no, or maybe, and a lot of them will just give you the answer, yes, no, or maybe. So if they say no, guess what? I ain't calling them back. I don't care. It ain't worth it. I'm not trying to argue with nobody. Right? Ain't trying to argue with nobody. Now, if I'm getting maybes and yeses, then I definitely want to speak with these folks. Okay, you can see now it says up here at the top right, I hit start. It said campaign was successfully started, scheduled. So I can go check that over there as well, of course, and look at that. And we are going to go look at that because Raphael wants us to run it. So we're definitely running it. We just started it. Let me go back and, since it's scheduled, let me go back and pull one that is a later one that we've done. And it's going to pull this up, and we're going to look at what the scraping, I'm sorry, what the SMS blast return looks like. Yeah, that's a great idea, Raphael. You could say, if I signed a 2-year lease, would you consider selling to me at that time? Yeah, that's a great way to phrase it, dude. Super. Matter of fact, stole it. I just stole it from you. It was incredible. You didn't even see it happening, but I just took it. So, yeah. Thanks for the hookup on that, man. Excellent, excellent, excellent notion. If I signed a 2-year lease, would you consider selling to me at that time? That's really good, man. Really good. Really good. Yep. Yep. Everybody write that down. Write that down. And if you're telling anybody about it, give Raphael credit for it at least once. Okay. This is me giving Raphael credit for that once. Now, from here on out, I made that stuff up. Okay. All right. So anyway, we are looking at the SMS campaign history, details. I pulled up a SMS blast that we had sent out, and what happens is they return texts to the text that I sent out, and those texts that they send back to me are populated on a spreadsheet. You can see some of them haven't returned a text to me, at least not yet. So you'll want to give it some time for people to respond, but you can see here's some popping up right here. This one, yeah, that didn't look like a winner. It says, thank you so much. Sorry, not interested, blah, 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 on down. Okay. Yep. I wouldn't consider anything under 1 year. You know what, man? I would definitely call that guy back. Right? I would definitely make a conversation with that cat. He didn't say no. He didn't say maybe, but he said he would consider something if it was over a year. So I'm just scrolling down. Here's a flat out no. Okay. That happens, guys. All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Is that another no? Okay. Yeah. Well, it happens. You know, you're not going to, hey man, if everybody said yes, wouldn't everybody be doing this? It'd be like running a slot machine. You know, that like you always had cherries. So, you know, that's just the way it goes. So yeah, you're going to look here and look at all these wonderful cold calls that you're not going to have to make. That's really the point you probably should be catching here that I didn't say, is look at all these cold calls you're not going to have to make. Right? Look at all these no's that you're not going to have rape your ear hole. Right? All right, here's a yes. I found a yes. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. It doesn't get any more simple than that. Would you consider leasing to a strong tenant for 24, 36 months, then selling at your asking price? Or I could say it like Raphael. If I signed a 2-year lease, would you consider selling to me at that time? Yes, I would. Okay, I'm definitely calling this guy back. Now, I could start a conversation here with this button, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to text. Okay? I'm going to text him. So, let's do that. Let's do that right now. Let's do that right now. I'm going to text him. And here's what I'm going to say, because I'm going to move it off of the machine and I'm going to move it over here to my office phone. Okay. I'm going to say, hi, this is Justin. We were just chatting about renting your property for 24 months. And I switched phones from my office phone to my personal phone to continue the conversation. Something like that. Okay. I'm going to shoot that out there to him or her, whoever it is. All right. Does that make sense? So that way I'm not paying for extra texts. Hello. I'm not paying for extra text. See, because you get charged for every text that goes out and every text that comes in. So I'm moving it over to, okay, I got a text back from this guy already. Yeah. All right. We're moving and shaking. Let me see. Let me text him back. Would this? See, he already said yes. I mean, why would this be surprising? It shouldn't be. He already said yes on the text. Would you be able to speak right now? We'll just see what he says, guys. We'll see what he says. Definitely. Isn't it nerve-wracking? Isn't it exciting? It's exciting. We just want to see what's up with this. Okay. I'm going to see if I can put him on speakerphone and everybody can hear it. We'll just see what happens. Oh, I got to get my paperwork pulled up. I got to get my property paperwork pulled up. Okay, I got my, yep, I got it. I got it right here. I got my lead property information sheet, the one with the black stars on it. Okay. I'm going to call this guy. Are you guys nervous or what? Are you guys nervous? I'm the one doing it. Guys, it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be scared. You know, I was telling you earlier today or yesterday, on the Facebook group that I definitely still get butterflies. I sat at a kitchen table yesterday late afternoon and closed the deal. And man, I've been doing this, guys, since I was about probably 20 years old. Now 23, 25 years old. Yeah, and then I'm 42 now. And I still get butterflies, man. I still get nervous. Why? Because it's exciting. I don't know. I get almost like I get a little shaky too. You know, it's okay. I think you're supposed to. I really think you're supposed to. So, you know, don't feel too bad about it. So I think the important part to take out of this is to just man up, just lady up, call up, be yourself, follow the script. You can't make them be more motivated than they are. You need to just let it be what it is. So I don't know what this phone call is going to be. It might be good. It might be bad. I really don't know. But let's give it a whirl. Okay? Let's do it.
This is Mike.
Hello, Mike. This is Justin. I've been texting you back and forth a little bit about your property. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm driving right now, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, no problem, man. I didn't really want to talk about anything too deep. I just wanted to chat with you for a couple minutes and find out a little bit more about the property and maybe a little bit about your situation. And at any rate, if this is a good time to chat, you know, I would love to just ask you a few questions. Can you tell me a little bit about the place?
I got 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, no problem, man.
I got a few properties. What are you talking about?
Well, we had initially asked you the question about would you consider a strong tenant for 24 to 36 months and then selling outright for.
So it's one of my rentals.
Yeah, one of your rentals that was on Zillow or Craigslist. I don't remember exactly which one.
I've been on Zillow.
Zillow, yeah.
That property is a starter home, probably 1,300 square feet. I got it's all vinyl. I bought it right, did a little fix up on it, and then I've been renting it for the last few years. It'd make a great unit for somebody.
Yeah.
I could probably sell it right now for around probably 145.
I see.
I only owe probably less than 75 on it.
I see. Okay. So is this something that you would consider renting out for the period of time and then selling at that point?
Obviously, I'm looking for a tenant now, but
right.
Tell me about what your offer is.
Okay, yeah. Basically, what we do is we work with folks that have a hard time qualifying for home loans. Now, that comes in a variety of different situations and scenarios, but these are good people that have jobs, they have income, they have stability.
What's the difference between that and my renter?
Really, probably nothing, except we really do put these folks through a bit of a pre-screening process. I'm not sure what kind of pre-screening process you use, probably something similar. We also do a pre-screening process on these tenants, and we make sure that they're not just looking to rent, but that they actually want to buy. So it gives them an opportunity to rent a place for a couple, 2-3 years, and then qualify for that home loan. During that period of time, they're working on their credit. They're getting some questions answered. They're working on getting a credit card paid down or some medical bills or what have you. But they are on the road to home loan qualification. They just need a little bit of time to rent right off of the bat. So that's really what we do. We work with those folks.
Working with people who want to buy a home.
Yes, we are working with folks that want to buy a home, and in order to do that, they need to be able to rent that home that they're buying for a little while. It helps them with the home loan qualification process. Does that make sense?
What if they tear my a place up? I mean, I don't know you or what
Yeah. Well,
who you're bringing in. Do I get to meet these people? How's it work?
yeah, that's a great question, Mike. And the answer to that is, they're good people. They want to be homeowners, so they are not really of the mindset to destroy a property. However, it's the same scenario as if you were renting the property out to one of your tenants now. It's the same process, same scenario. Nothing's different about that. It's a bad deal if it were to happen. The likelihood of it happening is not very strong. So with
That's probably less likely with you than it is with one of my own tenants.
I would say definitely, because these folks, again, want to be homeowners. They are willing to take on a lot of the homeowner type maintenance as well during their renting period. So that kind of alleviates some of that from you. We want them to kind of step into acting like homeowners right away. And a part of that is fixing the commode and, changing the filters in the dishwasher or whatever it is,
What's your name?
My name's Justin. Yeah. My name's Justin. It's Justin Chamness. So I would love to Mike, I've got quite a bit of information here just from chatting with you, and I know you said you had to run. What I'd like to do is just do a little bit of looking into the property address. Can you give that to me one more time? What's the address, man? Just give me the street and the house number.
136.
Okay.
Maple Court.
Okay, 136 Maple Court. Gotcha. I know exactly right where you're talking about. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of look into it as well, a little bit further. But would you be up for chatting again about this and going from there?
Yeah, Justin. What's it going to cost me? What are you charging me here?
Not going to cost you anything at all.
Cost me to do business with you,
Mike. It won't cost you a thing because we
How's that work?
make our profits. We make our money from the buyers. Okay, so they are paying us for this service to help them connect with a homeowner that will help them become homeowners. And so that they are paying us. It won't cost you any money whatsoever. I think that's good news, don't you?
I see. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, just give me a call.
Okay, Mike.
I'll be happy to talk about it.
All right, we'll be back with you soon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man.
All right.
See ya.
All right, bye-bye. All right. Right? Yeah. Guys, that actually sounded pretty good. That cat there, he seemed, he wasn't fighting me on nothing, was he? He wasn't fighting me. Now, I'm going to go check out Rental Meter. I'm going to go check out that property address. I'm going to make sure it's close to bread and butter. I'm going to make sure that's something I can do. Then I'm going to get that packet, that seller leave behind. I'm going to get that in front of him. I'm going to make sure that he sees that. And I'm also going to make sure that I answer any questions he has, any objections he has. I'm going to get that little lease option agreement memo signed. Could it fall away and die? Yeah, it could, guys. That's why you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You want to find you a half a dozen of those cats to be talking to every week. That's it. It's going to cost you, nothing, Ryan Webb says. What's up, R-Dub? Woo! R-Dub. Man, that's cool. That's a cool name. I wish I had a cool name like that. All right, guys. Are there any questions? Next week, we are talking about finding a tenant buyer. How do we find a tenant buyer? How do we go about getting it done? And you know what? You guys can get it done. You can do it. It's real easy. If you guys are finding the bread and butter stuff and you're talking to your sellers like that and they're getting to know you a little bit, yeah, that's crazy cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's right, man. You're one of my killers. One of my wholesale lease option warriors. One of my wholesale lease option warriors. I love that. I've got bank-owned wholesaling killers. and wholesale lease option warriors. Yeah. Yeah, that guy wasn't upside down, Kelly said. Yeah, see, he threw my game off a little bit there for a second when he said what he thought the property was worth, and he was like, I only owe like $70,000 on it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is not a slam dunk. That's really what I was thinking right away. And then I got to thinking that well, it might work out anyway. Let me just keep talking to him. And you never know, guys. That's how it works. I got another question in the chat. It says, why not tell the guy that the tenant takes full responsibility for damages? Well, in reality, that is true. That guy will be able to hold the tenant responsible for the damages, but also he and I both already know that tenant, if he tears up that house, he ain't going to be able to collect a darn thing out of that guy. Okay? He's not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to do it. Yeah, see, it would have maybe the margins and the percentages and the dollar figures and stuff, Ryan, it really would have worked out for a wholesale ugly house deal, except it wasn't an ugly house. See, that's the thing. It was a nice house. It's a nice house. Somebody can live there. He said it's been a part of a investment package of houses that he has. So, this guy's been around a bit. You got to think about that too. And I'll tell you what, you can do these deals all the time with landlords. Those are other investors. Landlords are investors too. And they don't mind this strategy. Now, some of them have caught on and are doing this strategy for themselves. And I've never found joint venturing on wholesale lease options to be very, very good for me. So I'm looking for the investors, the landlords, the tired landlords, right? Yeah, the tired landlords, the guys that are like, hey, I'm done. I'm ready to get out. Those guys are great to work with too. Sometimes you can even pick up ugly houses from them. Do I take over the mortgage? That's a question in the chat. No, don't take over the mortgage. It's a lease. Okay. I might offer to make the payment if it's the same as the mortgage payment exactly. I might offer to make that payment for the homeowner in the portal, or have the buyer do that, my tenant buyer. See, this is the wholesale lease options, guys. I'm not taking over anything. I'm getting the heck out of here. I'm getting the heck out of here. Right? I don't want to be in the middle. I'm getting out. I'm a wholesale lease options guy. So I'm wholesaling. I'm assigning this off to my tenant buyer. And I'm letting the seller know right away in that agreement, seller agreement memo that I showed you. Yeah. I'm letting him know right there. That's exactly what I'm up to. So you can see everything's real transparent and clear here, guys. There's nothing hidden. Nothing shady here. Here's another question. So you make money on the down payment and cash flow if possible. Okay, if this were a sandwich lease and I was staying as meat in the middle, I would make cash flow if possible, right? But I'm not making cash flow because I'm not staying in the middle. I'm assigning this deal to my tenant buyer. That's why we're calling it wholesale lease options. So therefore, Billy, I'm only making money on the option fee deposit. Okay, you got to watch calling it a down payment, because it may not be considered a down payment when they go to get a loan. You don't know what that loan officer is going to call a down payment, what he's not. And in fact, you don't even know what loan officer they're going to, so you can't really call it a down payment. You want to call it an option deposit. What I like to call it is, hey, this is your pay-to-play fee. This is your pay-to-play fee, guys. You guys can pay the fee to get in this house and play around in it like it's yours until you can make it yours. That's it. Right? I think that's just more hip. That's just straight up more hip.